Alright, what's up guys? John. Got my 2013 Durango RT up on jacks. Wife came home today and noticed that it was dripping oil. Found out it's the driver's side motor mount leaking. Only has 69,000 miles on it and the motor mount already went bad. This is why I don't like Dodges. It's nothing but problems. She loves this truck though, so gotta keep it running. So just want to show you, I looked online, couldn't find really much videos on how to do it, so called up to Dodge to get an estimate on how much it costs to replace it. They recommend replacing both. When you replace one motor mount, you might replace the other one, because once one goes out, the other one's prone to go out right after it. So quoted me $1,400 to replace it, and the part's only $52 per side, so what, $110 for the part total. Figured go get the part myself, do it. So after looking at some YouTube videos, I found maybe 2 of them that had it. So what I did was, for the passenger side, pulled the inner fender cover off so you can get to the mount. And then as for the driver's side, really don't need to take the tire off. Left it on, just jacked it up. Let me get a light for you guys so you can see real quick. For the driver's side, you got the mount right there. It's got a nut, a 15mm nut on top. When you go to do it, it's got a heat shield that covers it with 2 10mm bolts on it. Pain in the ass to get in there because you can't get your hand in there, which I just wedged my hand in there to get to it. So I took the air intake out and the box so I can get to it easier. Everything I did from the top for the heat shield and the bolt. As for the bolts that go to the actual, you can see the bolts right there. I loosened them up. There's 2 bolts, one right there on the right, one right there on the left. You can kind of see it right there. There you go. 2 right there, one on the left, right. I got those from the bottom. Those are 15mm bolts too. Just use the ratchet. Got those from the bottom. Pretty easy. They're not really tight, so took them off and look up the specs to find out what the actual torque specs are when I put it back together. For the passenger side, everything I got from the bottom and the fender. So right here, you see those 2 bolts right here? Those were the 2 bolts holding the nice little heat shield on. As you can see, 2 bolts line up perfectly right there. And then that little right there bolt is the nut that was holding the top motor mount, 15mm like I said, and then the 2 10mm holding the heat shield. And then go to the bottom of the car real quick so you guys can see. There's one bolt right there, 15mm nut, and the other one is, I don't know if we can get in there, right there. You can kind of see it. You can wedge your hand in here. It's not too hard. It's a pretty easy job. So I got everything taken apart, ripped off, took this cover that goes to the bottom of the car. The splash guard has, I think, 4 10mm bolts and I think 2 14mm bolts that hold it on. And that's about it. I'm gonna put it back together here shortly. I'm just waiting for my wife to get here with the parts. She went to go pick it up from Dodge. So, not too bad so far. I'm into it about just loosening the bolts, taking it apart, about 35 minutes, 45 minutes max. So what I'm gonna do, what I've noticed everybody else is doing, is jacking it up on the balancer. I'm gonna try to do a little research, see what else I can do. I don't know if I want to put the weight on that and worry about balancing the weight while I jack it up and then slide these out. So, if I figure anything else out, I will get on here and record another video and tell you guys what I did. But as of right now, I'm planning on probably doing that just like everybody else did. It'd be quick. Looks like they just slide right out as soon as you get the weight off the mounts. Slide right out, slide it right back in, and then drop it down, and then I'll drag it back up real quick, slide the right one in, and then drop it down. So it's not up too much weight on the jack. I'm not gonna have it there. The reason they do that is because Dodge likes to go cheap. Plastic oil pan, plastic, Dodge. I don't know what they're thinking. They do everything's cheap, but there you go. You can see the issue my wife had. She was dripping oil like crazy. Whatever the oil that's in the motor mount is dripping all over the place, splattering everywhere. So replacing it. 69,000 miles. The motor mount's already going bad. But that's not the first issue we had. We had the transmission go out at 40, but it was under warranty, so they covered that. Then we had the all-wheel drive motor go out at 50, but they covered that too. We also had the water pump go out at 60, and luckily they covered that. But this truck's been nothing but problems. But she loves this Durango RT, so gonna make sure I keep it nice and pretty and running for her. She takes care of it, but I can only do so much for the motor if Dodge doesn't build a good vehicle. It's always been service at Dodge, but I do everything else when they try to overprice you for something they say takes 5 to 6 hours when it only took me 30 minutes to take it apart with garage tools when they have all this nice tools in their garage, and I have just, common tools you buy at AutoZone or Home Depot, and I can rip it apart in 35 to 45 minutes. I'll get back on here.